MiniWarGaming rules you got wrong.
Hey there guys, Cork and Josh here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to this week's episode of Rules You Got Wrong, 30K. And this is us covering the Alpha Legion vs. Mechanicum Horus Heresy Battle Report, episode 37.
So we're going to start off with, there's always good comments, but I should read people's names. Mango Juice Head. At the 34-minute mark, that resolution of Stomps was beyond wrong. Come on guys, if you going to use a model, please know how it works. So that would have been for, I think he was using one a night.
Yep. I'm not sure what we did wrong, but I know how to stomp properly.
Basically, okay, so here's the way we're going to do this, because I think you guys did like everything wrong for it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So a stomp is basically you resolve an initiative step 1 and you roll D3 and you get the small blast markers, D3 of those. The first one has to be placed touching the walker's base but not over top of it, and any models partially underneath the base are stomped. If that's the case, then there's a stomp table that you roll on to see what happens. Say you get 2 or 3 on that, what you can then do is you can place a second one partially within 3 inches of the first stomp marker, and it's designed to be as if the walker was stomping through everybody. So you can place up to 3 markers, and essentially you could get 6 inches away distance-wise, not including the distance of the markers. So, and then you just roll on the stomp table for everything, and there's a list of stuff that can't be stomped. Again, I'm not sure what we did there, but what happens is for every stomp marker that you put down, if it hits a unit, not a model, you roll a die on the table to see what happens. It can be anything from no effect to crunch to take a strength 8 AP4 hit to overrun, and that's just removed as a casualty.
Okay.
So
that's one thing I got to check out. I haven't really run super heavies, but I want to start using some knights every once in a while, so I got to brush up on my rules for stomps and that kind of stuff, because I never really used them.
And for future reference, guys, if you say we got a rule wrong, let us know what we did wrong so that we aren't just like, what did we do? So, helps if you point it out a little bit.
Well, they give you a timestamp and all that.
Yeah, so I can double check and see what happened.
Okay, next up. Camo Hara. I'm not going to read off all the timestamps because there's a bajillion of them.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go straight to the rules. I might jump in and just kind of talk over you for some of these,
Go for it.
For the ones I know. So starting off, Voraks can only move 6 inches. Yes, Voraks are just they're just monstrous creatures. They're a fast attack choice, but to the best of my knowledge, there's no way to make them any faster than standard. So yeah, they move 6.
Yeah.
The Thanatar and Castellax have moved through cover. Mm-hmm. It's not specifically listed in their rules, but since they're monstrous creatures, they have it.
It's just one of the things you get by being that.
Ruins confer a 4+ cover save.
Okay.
This one thing, no, okay, so I didn't play this bat rep. That's one thing I'm guilty of sometimes, because I'm still pretty old school where, I think this will come up when we get to my game. I'll usually talk to my opponent, what do you want to use?
Yeah, well, we'll decide beforehand what everything is.
Consistency is important, so I got to get better at not doing it that way. Sometimes I build a really cool looking board, and I'm like, no, there's way too much 4-up terrain on it.
Yeah. We do that a lot with the builders, with the ruined cities and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. The battle cannon is not barrage, so all shots scatter individually and wounds are taken from the front. Correct. I believe
we treated it as barrage and fired the first one.
Barrage, yeah. Yep. Dynat's Cognis Signum can give the tacticals ballistic skill 5.
Yep, that was something actually I realized very recently. I thought that Cognis Signum only gave a model +1 ballistic skill. It is a unit.
That's okay. Yeah,
so I've always been thinking they give one model. That's why I've always had Dynat following the tank around.
That's another one where I don't think I've ever used a Cognis Signum. So cool. Next off, we have combi bolters or rapid fire. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I probably screwed that up.
Thalax are jetpacks, can only move 6 inches. They are definitely just jetpack guys. So they move 6, and it's the 2d6 in the assault.
Assault phase, because you got the assault jump.
I think he was playing them as a jump pack instead of jetpack.
Yeah.
And this was okay. So this was you were in a Rhino, and I think took a penetrating hit.
Mm-hmm.
The Vexilla does not apply because it is a leadership test, not a morale check. However, the squad passed the first time with the Sergeant's Leadership 9.
Yep.
So you messed up.
I messed up, but I got it right. So.
Photon Thruster is AP2. Yeah, it is. I love all the Photon Darkfire weapons.
I don't care for that at all.
They're sweet. The Mortar is Barrage, so cover saves cannot be taken. That was, I think he threw the template out of the Thanatar. And
Yeah, and I did take
cover save for intervening models. So
Yeah.
no bueno on that, sir. Monstrous creatures are AP2 and melee. Yeah, they are. The tactical squad must take a leadership test due to the penetrating hits and a pinning test for being forced
to disembark. Yep. I think I did the 2 tests. I very rarely miss that, but I may have that time.
I have a bad habit of sometimes, I think it gets cut off at the end of some of my clips when I do stuff. So I got to make sure to give Rob, our editor, more time to chop something off the end. Where was I? Okay, some Fury missiles gets hot.
Yep, I forgot to roll that. It's a scattering blast, so I was rolling the scatter, but I forgot to roll the gets hot.
On the flip side, strafing run gives you ballistic skill 5.
Yep, forgot I gave it that too.
The Phalanx didn't take feel no pain against the gets hot wound. So I assume he was firing like a photon thruster or something like that.
I think he did, and then he failed his save and just got upset about that and forgot the feel no pain.
It's a 6-up, but it saves you every once in a while. The photon thruster is strength 6, so wounded on a 2. So we've been shooting at a Marine. So I think it's the photon. Now I'm guessing at myself here, but I think it's the photon gauntlet's only strength 5. I'm going to check that. But I think he was using a thruster anyways.
Yeah.
But let's see here. I can't find the rules.
I think you're looking in the wrong book.
Oh, I got the right book.
Oh, yeah, you do. Okay.
Yeah, the photon gauntlet's strength 5, so maybe he was thinking about that.
Yeah.
I lost my spot. Plasma mortar is only 1 shot. Yeah, because he was using the large blast when he was firing. There is a version of the Thanatar that has plasma ejectors. They're shorter range, but they're small blasts. But I think they're 2 shots each, and he's got 2 of them. So that just gets crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, the plasma mortar is only 1 shot. I'd love a 2-shot plasma mortar. You could cyber theurgy to get extra shots out of that, but that's about it. Heavy stubber is strength 4. Yeah, it is. When tactical marine could have overwatched with the crack grenade.
Yeah, I just didn't.
That was more of an oversight than rules mistake. 2 passengers could have overwatched the Castellax. Again, more of a oversight than a mistake. You can only snap fire on a turn you regroup. That was a squad of your Marines.
Yeah, they regrouped, and I fired at full ballistic skill, not thinking, because I had forgotten they regrouped beforehand.
Well, I think it was because you're used to what? Initial no fear?
Yep.
Yep. Which they don't have in 30k. You can only use crawling fire if it will cover more models than it does currently. That is 100% correct.
And I think I moved it to try and get from 3 to 4, but I didn't, so I just forgot to put it back.
Yeah. Yeah, and the first stomp's going to be in base contact with the knight. Yep. The mortar is barrage, so you don't get the cover. Same thing as before. Cataphracti cannot overwatch.
Yeah, I do.
Slow and purposeful.
I pulled a Steve on that one. My bad.
I've got the advantage that I never forget that rule because everybody murders my Terminators. They don't have, they just kill them with shooting. Fulminatars have 2 attacks each.
Yep. I was treating them as 1 attack each because I forgot.
Alright, jumping down to Craig Bidulph. Questoris Knight Battle Cannon is Ordnance 3, Strength 6, AP3. Because, yeah, they get the option of the fancy Questoris one.
Cool. Which
is extra shots at less strength, or they can take the Rapid Fire Battle Cannon, which is 2 shots.
Gross.
Photon Thruster is Heavy 2. Yes. Strength 6, AP2, lands blind, gets hot. 100% correct on that.
I think I forgot to take the blind test when I got shot by that.
Yep. Thanatar Mortar is Ordnance 1, Barrage, Strength 8, AP2, Plasma Wave. Yep. All Automata are monstrous creatures. Thus, they get the Relentless, Move Through Cover, Smash, makes them AP2. Yep, that's all true. Vorax only moves 6. Yep. Thalax are Jet, not Jump.
Yep, 100%. You covered that.
And non-barrage blast weapons, such as the Questoris Knight Battle Cannon, with more than 1 shot scatter from wherever the first shot lands. Yeah, I think they were treating it as barrage as opposed to just ordnance.
Yep.
Mechanicum is a more complex army to play purely because it has so many rules that are difficult. That are different to anything else. Please make a cheat sheet next time. If I can figure it out, people can figure it out. I'm not the smartest person.
That was maybe the first or second time I played against them.
I think it was this, okay, so I think that was this, because I had a bunch of bat reps come out, but sometimes they come out in funny orders. So yeah, I think you had played against my Mechanicum once, but you died on turn 2, so you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to fight anything, and that was everyone made fun of me because they were just like, "Oh, Alpha Legion couldn't do it." But yeah, no, that was the first time I'd ever played against Mechanicum where I didn't just die off like turn 2.
Yep.
So I was actually getting a chance to see all these things for the first time, and I had no idea what they did before. So.
Yep. You'll see me skipping a couple comments, some of the stuff we went over. So again, big props to everybody that leaves comments. If we don't read your comment, it's probably because it's something we've already went over. I just want people to feel like I'm, not reading their stuff specifically, but we don't want the...
Do you just want to list the name of everybody?
I did that time. Okay, so something I forgot, or something I forget and often do in my games. I forget this thing too every single time. Monstrous creatures cause fear.
I forget that even with Harlequins. They all cause fear. I forget fear, just as a general rule.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It helps. So you get better at that.
Yep.
But again, that's typically, like, if you cause fear, I guess it's the monstrous creature thing. But it's on the player who's playing to remind the other guy as much as he can. Castellax are toughness 7. Yeah, they are. That's why they're awesome. Monstrous creatures have Hammer of Wrath. Castellax and Vorax have 3 shooting weapons each and may fire all of them each turn. Yeah, they can shoot tons. Super fun. Castellax have Rage, meaning 4 attacks each on the charge. Yep, because they're 2 base, and then Rage gets them up to 4 attacks on the charge. So next up we have... Oh yeah, and Super Heavy Walkers have Hammer of Wrath. Yep. Next up we have Ben Ward. Why are the 3 shots... I'm assuming why are there 3 shots from the Paladin to the Rhino? It's only 2 shots, not 3. Look at your rules. You look at your rules, Ben Ward, because there's 2 different types of battle cannons. There's the, because I think he was using the Questoris, the Strength 6 AP3.
Yep.
So yep, there is definitely a night weapon that is 3 shots. Noku, new to the 30k rules, but don't you have to play with at least 2,000 points to field Lord of War units? I didn't find that anywhere. I think it's just 25%.
Yeah, they can't take up more than 25% of the total army cost.
I always played 2K though, so.
Yeah.
Carl.
Yeah, good luck.
Manson. I don't know why I'm trying to say your name dumb. Carl Manson Rosgren. Quirk, doesn't the Fulmintar's Terminator squad have Cataphract of the Overwatch? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
we already went over that one.
Over that. Sorry.
Shame. Matt Smith, can you Fury of the Legion if you were forced disembarked?
It depends on the turn, but if it was on your enemy's turn that you were forced to disembark, you most certainly count on your turn. As long as you didn't move, deep strike, or disembark on your player turn, you can Fury of the Legion.
I gotta start running tacticals, I don't think. Have I ever taken a game with tacticals? Maybe. I want to take a Fury of the Legion. Once against David White, but again, he murdered everything fine. Throw off Tom. I swear every 30k battle report with the heavy support squads makes the same mistake. Your sergeant has a missile launcher too. Every member has the special weapon choice. So we're going to do our best to help you on this one because maybe that's why you're so frustrated. You don't have to have the special weapon. You have the option to buy. I think you buy a bolter, or you can swap your weapon for...
I usually swap it for a bolter and a chainsword. Yeah,
I think it's bolter, chainsword, and like nuncio blocks.
Yep.
So yeah, maybe that's why you're getting upset because people do that. But yeah, it's totally a legit thing.
And I've been swapping it out because I only have 4 missile launchers, so just to keep it all WYSIWYG, I've been paying the points for that.
Next up, we have Colonel Penguin. 5 individual Castellax plus 2 units of Thalax makes 7 troop choices. I think there's more than just points that are a bit over. Yeah, I think the points were a little bit skewed. But yeah, you can't. Troop choices.
Yeah, okay.
So you could always,
See, again, looking at them for the second time, I don't know what's troop and what's heavy support.
You wouldn't assume that these big
like,
monstrous creatures with 4 wounds, toughness 7 are troops, but yeah, they totally are. But yeah, so 5 individual, well, no matter what they were, there's 5 of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, buddy up. Castellax get lonely by themselves. That's why I run 2 squads of 2. Next up, we have Alpha Legion versus Mechanicum, Horus Heresy Battle Report, episode 38. That was the one that we were playing.
Yep.
ABPBM. I didn't think you could score inside rhinos in 30k.
You
Quirk.
certainly can't. We actually said that at the end of the battle report, where I said I noticed that I was still inside the rhino and counting myself for scoring those points. All I really had to do was just infiltrate outside of my rhino, which I'm allowed to do, and I could have just been scoring those points anyway. And they were off in the corner of the board where nothing was anyway. So.
Well, actually, I think the reason you didn't do that is coming up right now. Mr. Felix Martin. Josh, you remember the Jin site special rule that stops infiltrating units from deploying within 24 of the Thalax? Nobody had got within 24. He stayed out of 24 for everything.
I checked and rechecked.
Yep, and I made him check again. Not mention the video. I'm all for seeing the deployment phase plus both players secretly or openly talking about the game tactics in the pregame show. Yeah, we tried that. Some people liked it, other people didn't. But yeah, made sure he didn't infiltrate within 24 of my dudes because they're awesome and I love them.
That's pretty much why I deployed in my deployment zone.
Ben W. At roughly 4620, Quirk overwatched the Thanatar, but he did Fear the Legion in his turn, so wasn't able to overwatch. Admittedly, it was amusingly unhelpful, but all the same.
Yep, I should start putting markers next to my guys that Fear the Legion so that I can keep track. But I think that was after lunch, wasn't it? Like we came back from lunch night. Yeah, that's probably what happened. Was we went for lunch and then came back, and I was like, okay, you're gonna charge them Overwatch, and completely forgot they feared.
Sounds like the language of excuses.
Sorry, Dave.
Okay, next up we have Soil Worker.
I love these names.
Okay, Josh, at 3750, your Thalax get overrun after losing combat. They're stubborn and therefore would have passed their leadership with a roll of 7 and should have been stuck in combat. Yep. Not the first time I forgot the stubborn. That's my bad on that one. They are totally stubborn. I remember sometimes I forget other times, so.
Let me make sure I got this right. Robots are stubborn?
Okay, these ones are not robots. They're cyborgs. Do you know what I did to Lee? He did that in a battle report, so I gave everybody his email address to yell at him.
Yeah?
Yeah, they all did.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so cyborgs are stubborn. The robots are just fearless.
Yeah.
August USB Ross. 1212, the Rhino actually had a 2+ cover save. 4 for the building in the way, hard cover. 1 for not being able to see the front arc, but being in the front arc. 1 for stealth from the smoke. It wasn't that good because the building really... The building angle's tough, okay? Because there was some elevation there. I could see his front.
He could see my front, and I don't think I was 25% obscured. And you also have that thing that...
-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't get a 2-up cover.
We mathed it out back and forth and checked everything, and it was the I think I had a 6-up.
This is another one, like I mentioned it a couple times, like 6-up or 5-up.
Yeah, it was high.
It wasn't good. This is another one. Unfortunately, sometimes it's tough to hit certain camera angles, especially with how the terrain's set up. Can't get the camera down to show you the exact angle.
Especially with that forest board.
Yep. So yeah, unfortunately, that was kind of how the camera was looking at stuff. His cover save was not nearly that good. Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna jump over to some of my bat reps.
Yay!
And see what I got wrong compared to what you guys got wrong.
All right, so we got Emperor's Children versus Mechanicum Horus Heresy Battle Report, episode 39.
This was me playing against Lee.
Soil Worker. Love that name. Okay, Josh, your HQ was incorrect, either in a Cybernetica cohort or in a normal Thegmata?
Thegmata.
Oh, I got it right. Why are there names like this? The Archmagos Dominus does not have any high techno...
Keep reading it.
All
Arcana.
Right. Okay. So, techno Arcana. So you couldn't have twin-linked your weapons at about 3120 the first time. If you fixed your mistake and choose a normal Archmagos, he would have been able to join the unit of Castellix as only the Archmagos Dominus with... Wow, these names!
Patrice Cybernetica.
Thank you, can do so.
Patris.
Also, as a side note, when killing your Archmagos like a boss, how about having at least half of these items on the model?
Okay, so a couple things to talk about there. First and foremost, I made the boo-boo that I had originally built I had built a Cybernetica list. Now, one of the many requirements for Cybernetica is for, I think it's fast attack and heavy. If you're going to take anything in fast or heavy, the first choice must be something with a Cortex. I didn't bring my Thanatar. I'd originally planned to, but I think I busted him off his base right as we were going to film the bat rep. So he got subbed out, and I had to change some other stuff in. Now, technically, that no longer made the list Cybernetica. I said it wasn't going to be Cybernetica, but I totally forgot that I should have kicked the Dominus out, because he is Cybernetica only. So I would have had to choose an Archmagos Prime as my HQ. So he wouldn't have the Patrice Cybernetica, which is what allows him to join a unit of monstrous creatures in 30k. So totally a mistake on my part, guys. So what happened basically is I took an HQ that I should have not been able to take. As far as the twin linking goes, that was his warlord trait he had rolled up, is that he's able to hand out twin link to a heavy weapon when they go to shoot. So he's okay on that. And also as a side note, when kitting your Archmagos out like a boss, so the only thing that's really not fully represented on him is, because he's got the claw, which is my power axe, I really don't have a Machinator array to put on him, because there's not currently a model for it. So I went ahead, I was kind of back and forth on this comment, and I was going to be like, meh, but we made him faster, stronger. Yeah. Let's show him. I'll show you real quick what we've done to kind of fix that up a little bit. Real quick, guys, there's my new Archmagos. So he's got his Machinator array, so I've added, what, like another 3 arms onto him. So really the only thing that's, because technically I think that's the Flamer variant weapon instead of the Photon thruster I like to use. But they don't have a option to go ahead and buy one unless I buy a whole unit of Thalax and try to jury rig that in. So that's going to continue to be whatever ranged weapon, but now he's got a bajillion arms and a proper axe, so he looks a little bit more correct. Going to paint those arms up, and yeah, so that's what I've done to kind of correct that, guys. Before we continue on, yeah, I took a lot of the credit. It was my idea, but I made Lee do most of the legwork on that. So yeah, now he's a little bit more appropriately set up. Like I said, the ranged weapon thing's kind of tough, but I've never had any opponents have a real issue with exactly how the ranged weapon looks, because nobody knows what the weapons look like anyways for these guys.
They're weird looking.
And other than that, now everything that I typically take on him is represented on him.
All right. Next up, we have Mostly Bored. Josh, on at least 2 occasions, I've heard you say you were shooting an Infernal pistol, but I didn't see the option for one on your Magos entry. I feel like we need to go all over this again. Sorry, go ahead. I'm bugging you.
Hey, go. Okay, so the Inferno pistol is included when you buy the Machinator array. You get an Inferno pistol and a Flamer. So even though you don't see it in the regular list, the Machinator array is in the list, and the Machinator array gives you, amongst many other things, it also gives you an Inferno pistol.
Cool. Was it modeled?
What?
Was it modeled on the model?
Shut up. No, it wasn't properly modeled on it, but I don't think that's what he said.
No. So, Kamikaze Thunderhawk, 13 minutes. I see this in multiple games with Josh. He thinks one of the models in the squad can see a target. Everyone, even guys behind the walls, can shoot. They cannot, Josh.
So I checked your timestamp on this. I'm trying to think of the most polite way, because Lee and I watched the video and kind of talked it over. Without getting down, without being able to get the camera down to model eye view, I don't know, man. If both of the people in the room take a look and obviously can see, and there's obviously a line of sight, and that might not show super well on the camera, so I guess I apologize for that, but no, dude, he could totally, everybody could see. It was the 2 Castellax shooting at a Rhino. Yeah, they could both see. Sometimes the angles don't necessarily show you that there's holes in the wall or windows, or the fact that you can just, you know, I'm halfway around the corner so I can see.
Yep.
So apologies for that, guys, but without being here in the room, if there's ever any time, because if I'm not 100% sure on it, I always get my opponent to check, and if they're not 100%, we just don't do it. Usually we'll bust out the laser pointer, but yeah, he could totally see at that point, so sorry, dude, that's just camera angles for you.
All right. Ignatus, with the studio's basically in-house WYSIWYG rules, am I the only one who finds it slightly annoying / mystifying that Josh still runs his Archmagos on a ambient, but still, but still haven't gotten a model for it? It does add a substantial bulk to the model. It essentially is like running a Terminator as a proxy for a Dreadnought.
The thing I think you're missing on that one, dude, is the model that I run on an Abeyant is quite literally the official model on Abeyant. That thing that, okay, so the thing that he's riding on, that's the Abeyant.
Oh, okay.
So I I'm going to go ahead and assume, because Mechanicum, if you go on Forge World, only has 2 characters you can buy. Both are on an Abant. There's this guy, and then there's a special character on like this giant Abant. I think you're getting that mixed up. They're both Abants, but the one you're talking about that's huge is a special character. I could have bought him to represent my Archmagos Dominus, but I typically don't like to run special character models as just being a regular dude. Gotcha. So... sorry, man, that's the official model for the guy in a band.
All right. Chris Nithilus. I think, yeah?
Nihilus?
All right. Chris Nihilus. Contemptors have fleet. You could have re-rolled that 1 on the charge.
Standard Contemptors do, but Contemptor Mortis do not, unless... I'm going to check my book real quick and see if they changed something here. But...
cue the looking through book music. Do.
Because, yeah, they're basically giving up their fleet for the targeting array.
Ah.
So, yep, no fleet, no bueno, no love on that. Because it was a Mortis, the 2-weapon guy.
All right. Zurin, 0-0. You don't need 6s to hit a hovering Storm Eagle.
You totally do if you're shaken, man. Yeah, the Krios Venator shooting at the Storm Eagle that needed 6s. It was either shaken or stunned. You can see the little token that I put down that says shaken on it.
Ah.
So, yeah, it was Snapfire's, man. So, unfortunately, it is hitting on 6s.
All right. Big Joan Metal. Daleks are stubborn, guys.
Yeah.
Silent Pony. These names are awesome. So, do we all just forget the Emperor's Children Crusader rule, or is it just not something we play with anymore?
Yeah, I forgot all about it.
All right.
Bonus, I wasn't playing Emperor's Children.
Winning.
So yeah, guys. Lee hasn't got the chance to play a ton of Emperor's Children, and to be honest, I completely forgot they had Crusader. So partially on me, partially on Lee, we forgot about it.
Guard Buddy. Hey Josh, lightning guns have shred. You missed it on an Overwatch at 4220. Yep. Also, the Krios Venator has a blessed auto...
keep reading it. Do it.
Auto Simulacra.
Yep.
Help me out with that one.
I don't know how to say it.
All right. Which helps it regain a hull point on a 6. Also, at 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 24 seconds, Daleks are stubborn. Didn't make a difference, but it could help in the future. By the way, love the Mechanicum. I play them as well and love to see them in bat reps.
Yeah. Lightning guns having shred. I've forgotten about that a couple times. Because, yeah, they're usually wounding stuff on 2s. And, yeah, I just completely forgot about that. And the Blessed Auto Simulacra? Yeah, it's on a roll of 6. I regain a lost hull point every turn on the vehicles. The Krios and the Krios Venator come with that stock. The Pain Train has to buy it. I always forget that they're on the vehicles. Because I don't typically want to pay the points for that upgrade. But yeah, the Krios pattern stuff definitely does. So I will do my best to remember that in the future.
Awesome. Next page. May 80 Sparkle. I think they're just trying to mess with us now with their names. Wouldn't have been a 3+ to the damage that deodorant. Okay, deodorant speeder
It's
since
a jet bite.
Okay.
Javelin speeder.
Oh, okay. Deodorant speeder since it was an AP1 weapon and an open top vehicle, or does it not stack at 30k?
It's not a 30k thing. It is the fact that the speeders are not open topped. Yeah.
Yeah?
They're just fast skimmers. You'd think that they're open topped.
Because they look like it.
The tops are open, but they don't have the open top rule because I think that's representing the guys in power armor being pretty well protected inside.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, that's like it wasn't a +3. It was only the +2 for the AP1 weapon. So yeah, unfortunately, just the speeders are not open topped.
Okay. Blight 02. When the conveyor exploded, the unit would have been placed in the spot the tank occupied. They would have taken a pinning test plus a leadership test for every pen result to see if they could only snap shoot.
I don't know. I went back with an addition because I did the. I don't know why I did the stupid crater thing.
Oh, you did a crater and then put them on top of the. Yeah.
So my bad on that one. I don't know. I jumped back to what was that 6th edition?
Something like that, 6th or 5th. I think it was 5th actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I was spaced out hard on that one, so that was all my mistake. I know we rolled the pinning test and leadership test, but maybe the clip that's deleted.
What I think he's saying is that you take one for every pen result.
No, because I went back and I watched. I didn't see me taking the roll, so either we did it at a different time in the bat rep, like when it came to be my turn, but I couldn't find it there. I know I rolled it, and I double checked with delete. He remembers it too, so I know that sometimes we go back and delete clips, so maybe that was in a clip that I deleted too. Like maybe I went to go delete one thing and didn't realize there was multiple things in that clip. Okay. So my bad on that one. That was all my fault.
All right. Also, Blight 2. 5+ with smoke on turn 1 at mech. Though pretty sure the robots were firing through the ruins at a non-smoked rhino, it would have been a 4+.
The whole thing there, yeah, because there's penalties I give to
cover saves.
Cover saves with, because my Castellax give -1, my Thanatar gives -1, and my Thalax give -2. The whole thing we were treating as 5 up though. I think we did the intro more than once, and I must have deleted the intro where we talked about it. The board was like pretty heavy with terrain, looked really cool, but it was a ton of 4 up, and Lee wasn't 100% sure, and I agreed with him that my robots would get a ton of cover saves all over the place from everything. So we said everything was going to count as just 5 up terrain for the ruins. So that's a consistency thing. I'll do better on that in the future, guys. I think we built a board, thought it looked really cool, went to go play and realized that, might have skewed it a little bit too much in my favor.
Gotcha.
So we decided to count it as 5 up, and I didn't do a good job of explaining that.
Okay. Moving on now to the Emperor's Children versus Mechanicum Horus Heresy Battle Report, episode 40. I'm pretty sure you just put this comment in here because you wanted to.
Oh, no, it keeps going.
Oh yeah, it does. Okay, I thought that was someone else's name. All right, Barbosa, cool bat rep. The fight between the Archmagos and Greater Demon was intense. Rules: Machinator arrays have shred, so their attacks should have been rolled separately.
100%. I think I was just rolling. I was lumping them in with the Power Axe attacks and forgetting that the Machinator array had shred, because that fight went on forever with that stupid demon. That's what I get for throwing my support character in to fight a demon. But you know what the best part about it is?
You won.
Yeah. Much like Alfarius, that demon got crushed. So now the Archmagos Dominus has taken, 2 rounds of shooting from Steve's Iron Warriors, killed Alfarius in close combat, and killed the Greater Demon of Slanesh in close combat.
You only think that was Alfarius.
Because now I'm using his face as a puppet.
Okay. Inducted levy squads in the Army of Dark Compliance are not scoring. See the
disposable roll.
Yeah.
Yep. They are not scoring. I think that we were using one of the previous books rules for disposable guys.
Yep.
Where I think the previous book said something along the lines of they just don't count for like first blood or whatever.
Gotcha.
But let's go over it real quick. Yeah, disposable. The disposable special rule given in the unit entry for the inducted levy squad in the Imperialists, Militia, and Cults Army list may be applied to any militia in the Army. Units that take this option never count as scoring or denial units. Should be declared at the same time the Warlord traits, psychic powers are rolled. And if the option is not declared, the rule applies to only inducted levy squads. So yeah, I think we were just using an older version of the rule on that, so my bad. I've read over that stuff, but I've never really used it, or I think this was the first time I played against it, so I blanked out on that one. My apologies, guys.
It happens. All right. Next we have Axis 762. Josh does really Zarknell. Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
All right. Have different rules for 30k compared to 40k.
I'm going to cut you off there real quick. All it was, because it was his Greater Daemon, and he was using the big, crazy, cool-looking Forge Rolled one, which is a named one, but we were just using it as a regular Greater Daemon of Slanesh. So that's that's all it was. So my apologies if there's confusion there. I know we had said at least a couple times that we were not using it as the special character one, but that's what we both referred to it as. So my bad on that one. It was not actually the special character one. He didn't pay the points for it. He just paid the points for a regular Greater Demon of Slanesh.
When that pretty much answers the entire comment.
Yep.
Okay. Jake Dywald. I really hope that's 3 words. Okay. Josh, why wouldn't you put the snail out in front of his Uber 2+/3+5 saves? Those robbed. Ooh.
Okay, so this is split up. So the reason why we don't put Snail Man out in front for the 2+/3+5 is the fact that he has a special rule in 30k that says my opponent can ignore him as being the closest model and instead choose to hit the robots behind him. So there's no real point in putting him out front because I can't force the opponent to soak hits. You could argue the fact maybe that if I was a jerk and didn't tell my opponent that special rule applied in 30K, that I'd be able to soak hits with them, but I don't know, it's kind of cheating in my book. So I don't put him out front so there's no confusion with my opponent. Because I don't want to say, oh, well, you know, he's super amazing, don't shoot at them, and forget to mention the whole fact that you could ignore it anyways. So that's why.
Okay, because then it goes on again to keep saying like those guys are awesome, but
well, then they're talking about the rogue guys.
Yeah, it's why did you put them out front? Because those rogue guys are glass cannons. So many strength 6 shots.
He's talking about a different unit. He's talking about the what are they? The Myrmidon Secutors I use.
Okay, so those let me just read it then. Those rogue guys are great glass cannons. So many strength 6 shots from just 4 models. Should have had them out and shooting from the start. You could also have guys kept up a bit longer kiting, since you don't even try for control points. Could have had a few more rounds shooting with multiple squads.
Yeah, that's more of a tactics thing. I've never played against a horde army, I think, because I deployed, I believe it was 18 models, and Mitch deployed about 180.
Yeah, that would do
horde army. So I was a little bit deer in the headlights. The game plan, this is more of a tactics thing, but I might as well bring it up now. Because I think he called me out in the rest of the comment that I didn't put on there. But anyways, the only thing that scored in my army was the Thalax units. So the plan was that they were all going to go up one flank to take a couple control points because he only had cultists over there. I couldn't even slow the cultists down. My shooting was garbage. I eventually brought the Myrmidons in the pain train over to support, and they got some work done. It was too late in the game to affect anything, so I was going for kind of the refused flank. All of my big heavy stuff was on the right, and then everything else was on the left to try to jump up and control points because of the way Mitch deployed. It didn't work though. He still kind of overran me. It came down to being pretty close. Like he had me on control points, but I got him on attrition, which was I think D3 in this, and I got him on Slay the Warlord, which is extra bonuses. I got him on a couple different things. So the game was relatively close if I could get a couple control points. Just didn't work out.
Okay. And the last one here, we've got Jake Dywall again. At 27-26, Cacophony that got hot twice, rolled once for their armor saves. Should have rolled twice. Yep,
that's my bad. Because Cacophony are the ones that, they're heavy 2 weapons that get hot, so you got to roll each one separately and then keep track. The method that we used was probably one of the better ones, that we rolled the first one, and then anything that had gotten hot in the first volley, we then changed to a different color dice for the second volley to see if it was the same one that got hot again. Forgot the fact that he had 2 gets hot in the same dude. We only took 1 save, so my bad.
And then at 50-15, if you got 2 dice and warp charge 2, wouldn't a single 6 deny it?
Nope.
Nope.
Because you're not denying on the individual basis. You have to deny all the warp charges that went through.
Yeah.
So I would have, if he passes with 2 warp charges, I got to throw 2 6s to be able to stop it.
All right. And there you go, guys. That is all the rules we got wrong, / you got wrong, / everybody got wrong for this week's Rules You Got Wrong Warhammer 30K edition. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep up the comments. Let us know if we happen to make any further errors because, well, it helps us learn. It helps, I guess, correct some errors on your part. So thanks so much for watching, guys. And until next time, happy wargaming.